We here at New Blood know that 2020 was a very long year, a very hard year, the longest year in years. And we want you to know that two things are true. 2020 is over, and
Doom is eternal.
it's the New Blood Podcast! This is the final podcast of 2020 and the second podcast of 2020 because we're really bad at doing these podcasts. And my dog just farted. Welcome back. It's actually like 2.5 because we did the first New Blood podcast after COVID hit, when we all thought this shit would be like a few weeks. And we did a podcast, and then we're like, we're going to do lots of these. And we blinked. And now it's Christmas. Yeah, that was March, and then we blinked, and now it's Christmas. Well, it's past Christmas.
One eternity later.
Basically. And then we did a Gloomwood podcast. Go watch that. We did a mini Gloomwood podcast all about the inventory because that's important. But yeah, we've come to the end of 2020, and I am joined today by the Dusk Dad, David Szymanski.
Hello.
His brother, Ducky Szymanski, Johnny Szymanski.
Yeah, hi.
So we've got the Super Szymanski brothers. In the booth, we've got the longest reigning OG from the New Blood team, Christian Antonio.
I am prepared to perform my duties.
Hello.
And then our special guest, I was going to say this week, our special guest this week, like this is a week, like it's a weekly podcast and not something we do every.
We're gonna do this every week.
Something we do every 6 to 8 months. Miss
How about
Slaughter.
our other podcast
What's
this
up?
year?
Yeah.
Our other guest.
Miss Slaughter is here. You all know her. If you don't know Miss Slaughter, why are you watching our podcast? She was our host for Realms Deep, and we will talk about Realms Deep as well as all the other shit that happened this year. And then we'll talk about our favorite things from this year, and then what we're looking forward to in 2021 if my dog ever stops ripping ass while I'm trying to record.
Good
the
boy.
podcast. I love you, bad boy. Okay, so let's get right into it. So, I mean, this year basically started in what? So March was a thing. COVID happens. Doom Eternal comes out. We're all like, oh boy, we're going into lockdown. We all just get to play Doom and this will be over. We do a Doom podcast. We're really excited. They announced that our composer and good friend Andrew Hulsholt is now the composer for Doom DLC along with David Levy. We all rejoice. Everything's going great. Next thing you know, it's April, it's May, it's June, it's July, it's August, September, October, November. What the fuck? But some cool shit happened this year.
Quite a
other
bit,
than the-
actually.
Yeah, like it was
Yeah.
We have a
pretty
More
good.
than
list
we realize, I
about
think.
a page long of cool things that happened. this
Remember,
year, so.
well, first of all, so we were supposed to open an office. Everybody, like, remember that?
Oh
Yeah.
right, yeah.
We were-
that was supposed to
we were
happen,
so-
huh?
we
We
were
didn't
gonna
even
op-
add that to the list. I
Oh,
forgot about
yeah. Okay, well, maybe it's the list.
Whoops.
Office never happened.
Yeah.
So
we got
as you know,
close too to the
well,
office
we
happening.
were going to sign a contract. Like I
Yeah.
had the
Yeah.
contract, and then so we were going to open an office in Erie, Pennsylvania, the nicest part of the United States of America. Well, because
The
you know,
crown
as
jewel.
the crown jewel, Erie, Pennsylvania, the crown jewel of the northeastern United States, and so obviously we didn't do that. But as you guys know, so New Blood is like a lot of people from New Blood are in Western Pennsylvania. It just like happens to be a thing. The Szymanskis, Christian here, Trey from Fallen Aces, some other people, you know, are around that area, even though you guys have never met, which is weird, whatever. Me and Aaron are actually not convinced that Christian is not a highly advanced AI that we have known for 15 years. Like we have
Very
never,
possible, yeah.
we have never met him. We have never talked on webcam. I'm just coming at you with this, bro. Like you might be a robot. I've known you for 15 years. And
I am actually from thispersondoesnotexist.com.
Oh,
That's a
That's
great
all my
website.
selfs. That's my entire Instagram account.
It could be.
Is this person does not exist. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it is strange though how it's gone.
I guess robot man, whatever. That's why you're in the booth. You get in the back of the booth. He's like plugged into shit.
I am prepared to perform my duties.
See, I knew it. And then the rest of us are in like Australia, New Zealand, like Zombie and me and Leon. and Aaron, who at some point we're gonna get Aaron on here to talk
And
about
Zag. Zag's
and
in
Zag.
New Zealand now
And Zag.
too.
and Zag. That's kind of how everything goes. It's like and Zag.
Aw,
But we were gonna open a New Blood office, like an actual office. It was gonna be cool. That never happened. But then we kind of started getting locked down, and then what happened? E3, right? We did the PC gaming show. I memed it up. They forgot the Gloomwood trailer.
Oh yeah.
Was the last podcast before or after that? That was before, right? I think it was before
I think.
E3.
That seems like it'd be before, yeah.
Yeah, because we did it in like fucking February. Yeah, so if you guys don't remember, the PC gaming show was a thing. We had a whole cool little segment, and then they were supposed to show the Gloomwood trailer. And then we're all watching in Discord like this. We're all sitting in a call. Like I did my whole like meme thing with my meme URLs. I was like blah blah blah, shooty boom, blah, thief with guns, blah blah blah. And then they were like, "Thanks, Dave." And now here's like Paradox or whatever. And we were all like, and I just felt you could hear Dylan's soul like escape
Oh my
his
gosh, it was
crushed.
body.
Yeah.
It was I felt like my heart sunk into my feet. I was just like,
That was the worst part.
I was like, yo, I think they forgot the Gloomwood trailer. They're really not. I was like, maybe they'll play it now. And I started texting my friend who's the producer of the show, and I'm like, bro, where's my fucking trailer? And they didn't do it, and everybody started freaking out. It ends up like working really well because like the whole PC gamer forgot the Gloomwood trailer ended up getting it like way more exposure on like
Yeah.
Twitter. And
probably
stuff.
got it
People were like,
more like press than it would have gotten.
I
Or
think
not
so.
press, but like exposure and stuff.
For sure. And then to add insult to injury, PC Gamer was like, don't worry, we'll play it after the show. And they put out like a tweet like, stay tuned after the show for a very special trailer. And everybody thinks it's going to be Bloodborne on PC for some reason because that's what like people were teasing. And it's fucking Gloomwood. And people are
was
like, what is this?
hilarious.
What is this
And
indie
it was
shit?
like it was
And
like
it
Gloomwood at like 10 FPS.
Oh, it was broken.
Yeah.
There was like scan lines. It was oh my god, it was so bad. Hi, yeah. It was oh my god, it was terrible. So that happened. But the good news is also during that time we released Unfortunate Spaceman as free to play, and that's now a thing. It is the top grossing New Blood game because it's free to play and it has microtransactions, which is crazy. Congratulations,
Didn't
Zag.
expect that to happen.
That was a thing that happened. And then we also, so the Gloomwood demo came out and everybody loved it. And then we did a podcast about the Gloomwood demo and everybody loved it. And then people keep asking us to update the Gloomwood demo. And that's not going to happen, right, David?
We're not updating the demo. We're making
Yeah.
the game.
We're making the game. We added hands.
Game's already
Hands
going to take as long as
like
it is.
for
them
what
trying to update
though?
the
Like
demo.
bug fixes or new content?
No, people
I
want
don't know, just so they
people
have
want-
something to play.
People want like the new
What?
content that we're adding to the game to like
feature
be
updates,
added to
yeah.
the demo. They want like hands and like weapons and animations. They're like, you could add this to the demo. It's like, no, we're making the game now. Fuck you. Oh my god, people and their free shit. I swear to God. But anyway, let's go down this list. Let's talk about you guys for a sec. What happened? Some things that happened to you guys. David, what's some things that before we get into like Realms Deep and stuff like that, and all the stuff that we did this year? Let's talk about some personal things that happened because everybody had some personal stuff happen. David, what did you do this year?
Yeah, my wife and I had another baby.
Yay, Gloom
that
baby,
was
Gloom
a
baby.
thing. Yeah,
Rap
Gloom
air
baby.
horns. Where are the rap air horns, Christian?
Oh, I don't have them. That's the
Ah,
worst one to miss. That's the
podcast
worst one to
sucks.
miss.
8 months and we don't have rap air horns on the soundboard?
No.
Saul, get out of here.
Okay. So yeah, had Luna, and let's see, released an album,
Dope.
which
Did.
did moderately okay,
Yeah.
and did some horror games that
Did.
may or may not involve animal cruelty. I guess they like themed after animal cruelty. It turns out. wasn't
I'm pretty
intentional.
sure the DreadX collection theme was not animal cruelty. I don't remember
No.
that being in the
I guess-
bylaw.
That
So
wasn't
Pony Factory, they're not technically animals. They're like people, but they're not people anymore. I don't know.
Wait,
I didn't think that deeply about it, but
that is not what you presented to us when you initially did the design concept on the Pony Factory. You were definitely like, okay, guys, I've got this great idea. I'm going to have these ponies, but they're going to be like really spooky ponies, and it'll be really funny. And we just kind of like stared at you for a little bit, and then you went and made the game.
Yeah. No, they're like people, but that's why it's a factory. It's a factory for turning people into ponies, but they're horrible ponies because the factory's powered by hell energy.
Is this what, like,
sense.
Half the ponies are bipedal?
Yeah.
Oh, that actually totally makes sense now.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Samansky family.
Yeah. So I did put the Pony Factory, and then I did Squirrel Stapler, which makes even more sense.
Which
God
had
is
equally
coming. God is
bamboozled
coming.
reaction.
What, Johnny?
Which had an equally bamboozled reaction when you told us what your concept for that game was.
I pitched that to Rachel, and she just stared at me, and she's like, "I don't like that." I'm like, "Okay, well that's
I feel like
about
that's
the
most
reaction I
things you
look
tell
for.
your wife.
Yeah, basically.
That's honestly.
She doesn't take me seriously at all. That's why it's really funny whenever there's like someone who's like, "Oh my gosh, it's Dusk Dev. I love your games. It's amazing." Like, at home, I am basically considered like the clown.
Guys,
like,
I also
the
just
weird
want you
gutter
to.
clown.
I want you to know I have not been recording my video
Oh,
this
good
whole
job.
time.
Are you
good
serious?
job.
I just started.
After all that,
Okay.
oh
But yeah, I was
all
gonna
that.
say that Scroll Stapler is definitely one of my favorite games I've played this year. I'm not even kidding. Like, dead ass.
Thank you. I
Because
appreciate
it's
that.
like the only one that actually legitimately terrified me at the end. So, and it's forever captured in a clip from my Twitch channel.
Ah! What the fuck is that? Oh my god. Holy shit.
I think I saw that clip. Yeah.
Is everybody
the end
else
is the best
recording their
part.
video,
Yes.
by the way? Or I'm the only idiot who's only just started. Cool.
I'm
So we'll do.
recording.
So Christian, you're gonna have to use like a stock photo of me.
No, I will be. I already know what I'm gonna MS Paint you,
Oh,
your face
please,
based
like,
on your recording later, and
please like
put that
puppet
up
tool
instead.
his mouth open and closed as he's talking.
I could do that. Yeah, I could just do it.
Do it in
I'll
one
make that
take,
and
like
then
just screen
make a
record
video
yourself
loop
doing
of
that.
his mouth moving up and down, and then
That would
yeah,
be
he'll
beautiful.
look great for the first 10 minutes of this for sure.
People, has it only been 10 minutes? I feel like it's been longer than 10 minutes.
13. It's been 12.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Oh,
Hey, everybody,
Zencaster.
welcome to the New Blood Podcast.
No!
I'm Dave. And we're
That is not
starting it
what we're
all over.
doing.
It's okay. We'll just have to like slowly close up on David's face. Anyway, continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think that basically covers it for me. I mean, other than like working on Gloomwood and I don't know, witnessing Kyle is famous happening and not being able to stop it.
Nobody can stop Kyle.
No,
Kyle
that
is
about
a,
covers
it's
it
a
for
storm.
me. Oh, and I got verified on Twitter. My greatest life
yeah.
accomplishment.
And now all your takes are terrible. Doom 3 shotgun.
Boo the blue
Yeah, I
check.
started the
Boo.
Doom 3. Well, no, I didn't single-handedly start the Doom 3 shotgun thing. I just continued it long past it being a funny joke.
It was Doom 3 shotgun, Half-Life 2 pistol, both of which are great.
The Half-Life 2
have a
pistol
single
one
fact
hasn't
about
been
that.
as it hasn't been as continuous a meme as Doom 3 shotgun. We could make it as continuous a meme, I think, but I don't know.
Nah.
Then if we make it, then it's just sort of like copying Doom 3 shotgun.
That's true.
I could not deal
Yeah.
with that whole thing because every other day I'd log on to Twitter and see it. And then I would see people legitimately getting heated at each other over it, like almost ending friendships. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The funny thing about so the initial everyone arguing
Do you
about
want
it
to
was like a
explain Doom 3 shotgun for people
Yeah,
who
okay,
are not,
so
are not in the,
the Doom
know
3
about
shotgun
Doom 3
is
shotgun?
literally just it's literally just people arguing about whether the shotgun in Doom 3 is good or not. So there was like one day where this sort of like blew up, like miniature exploded inside of like retro FPS Twitter. And then after that, I like discovered that I could basically just tweet the words Doom 3 shotgun, or like I could just bring it up in any sort of context, and there would always be someone in the comments who is like, actually giving a like a serious take about it.
Yeah,
Like,
welcome to Twitter. Someone who doesn't have a sense of humor will be with you shortly.
Yeah. Well, it would be like I literally did one where I was like, isn't it funny how I can tweet the words Doom 3 shotgun and people will start arguing about it, and people started arguing about it in the replies. So then at this point it just became like a game to see like how much could I reduce this to and have people still understand what it is. And so I think at this point I've gotten it to the point where I can just tweet the letter D and like people will understand.
You did. You literally did that the other day. Oh, it's amazing.
And people like start spelling it out one letter at a time in the replies. It's great. So yeah, it's at this point it's literally just like the joke is that it continues. Like the joke is that it just like keeps continuing long after it's ceased to be funny in any capacity.
It'll keep going too. Like once in a while, it'll keep popping up. It's never gonna go away.
Yeah, because the great thing is now I could just like stop for like a year, and then in a year's time just be like,
dude, can you imagine?
No. Doom 3 Shotgun Resurrection of Shotgun DLC.
Ah, there you go. Yeah.
Dr. Shot Truger. Okay, anyway. So yeah, so
you can't keep getting away with it.
So we mentioned Gloom Baby. Yeah, that happened.
Yep.
Johnny, how about you? You had some pretty big life events.
No, nothing
going
happened to
this year.
Johnny.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
no.
So Kelsey.
Well, no, I mean, obviously the big thing is I got married this year.
Johnny.
No,
had
it's
sex.
not just you got
Johnny
married. It's
had
that
sex.
you met a woman, dated her, and got married in the span of
And
of
didn't
COVID
In the
happening.
span
Tell-
of about a year, yeah.
And didn't tell David you got engaged. David's
Oh,
like,
I
I just.
thought I had dodged that for this podcast.
Oh no! Now why do you think I brought both of you on here? We're getting Evan in here. We're doing Szymanski family therapy session.
Oh boy.
David's
Szymanski
like,
family court is insane.
David-
Okay, can I defend myself here? Because there was actually
well, let me just
Right.
give context real quick.
Okay, yeah.
I think so. So we're all congratulating Johnny on getting engaged because he announces it on Twitter, and we're in New Blood internal Discord, and David comes in. He goes, "Well, I guess I just found out on Twitter that my brother got engaged," and we're like, "He didn't tell you?" He's like, "No, I don't think my parents
No.
knew either."
Okay, well, here's how this happened. I had taken a trip to California specifically to go propose to my girlfriend. We had been planning it for several weeks.
Who was a real person?
Who is a real person. Yeah, believe it or not. So I'd taken this trip up here, and then we had a day planned out that this was going to happen. And so this day comes around, the whole thing happens. I feel like everybody's in the know of like the route that is happening. I mean, even my girlfriend knew that I was coming to propose at some time around then because I had to fly over to visit her. So that wasn't really a surprise. And so I'm like, okay, well, everybody's in the know. I texted mom and dad and was like, hey, here's a picture of the ring. Everything's done. And I felt as in my heart as if that had tied it all up and all the loose ends had just been wrapped in a nice little bundle.
Except your brother.
Except my brother, who apparently did not get any of this information. So I posted this on Twitter, and then David just, what was it that you posted in chat like after that? Because I was like, oh, you didn't know it? Yeah, I think you just said F you or something. Like,
Yeah, screw you. I think it was more like screw you, Johnny.
yeah, I was just like, screw you.
I was like, you guys must be a close family.
You didn't
There
tell
was
Evan either.
No, I did.
Oh, did you? Okay, it was just me
But then
then.
there's another hilarious thing which
That's better.
happened with that, which is because quarantine, we couldn't really like have a big wedding or anything. So I actually stayed over in California until that time, and so then it was the question of like, okay, who's going to come to the wedding? Who's going to make the trip across the United States to come to the wedding? And so only Evan was really of like my guy friends was really able to come, and so it was like, okay, Evan's my best man. There's no other option, So it was kind of
There's
like
no other
inherent.
option.
No other option.
I have no other brothers. What am I to do?
No, what will I do? And so it's kind of inherent to the process that Evan would be the best man. But of course, in my infinite wisdom, I never actually double checked this with Evan. And so he found out about him being the best man in an email with the itinerary of the wedding, showing that he was supposed to give a speech as the best man. But it all worked out in the end. So, yeah.
Yeah, this was not a surprise, let's say. This is consistent with how Johnny operates.
Well,
You know, at
considering
the
you
end of the
started
day,
dating,
what's that?
I was saying, considering you started dating this year and then got married, that's
Yeah.
consistent with any good speed run. There's skips, right? Sometimes you skip telling your brother. Sometimes you skip telling the best man he's the best man. That's just
There you
saving
go.
time on the back end. You're
And
getting
at
to
the end of
marriage
the
quicker.
day, David still knows that I'm married.
Yep.
So I think that it's a win-win.
I think I hear a little girl crying outside my room. I need to go put her back to bed.
Is it your little girl, or is this like a horror game that you're creating?
Yeah, is this outside the window or
I mean,
inside
if it
the
were
home?
a ghost little girl, that would probably be easier because I won't have to go put her back to bed. I'll be
Record
back.
the crying so you
Okay.
can use it in a horror game.
Good luck. We've already.
Well, that's good. We can also keep talking about what Johnny was up to this year. So, Johnny, besides getting married and not telling your family about it, what
Yeah,
else
besides
happened
that.
to you this year? Did you get
Well-
famous?
Did I get completely famous, Dave?
you did.
Yeah. So, I did release Kyle DLC earlier in the year, but that's like kind of been way washed over by the way more exciting thing of working on Kyle is Completely Famous, which is kind of like the revamp to the Kyle series in a way. Kind of bundling it all together and making it into more of a game and not just kind of like a little point and click adventure. I don't know. It's
And it's gonna
polishing
be
it
paid,
all up.
so we can make money. Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess we haven't
Yeah.
talked about it much. But so for those of you who don't know, earlier this year, Johnny came out with a game called Kyle is Famous. It's a hilarious visual novel about a man named Kyle who does things like wakes up and turns into a bug and eats his refrigerator and finds a
Yeah.
Vorpal sword. And it's really fun. It's really funny. It's so funny. It's so funny. It's because Johnny's the funny one. And since David's not here, we can say David's the Doom 3 shotgun one.
Yeah, I like that.
and
He's
when
the blue check, right?
and so earlier this year, so Johnny was working on Maximum Action, and then as most of you know, we're not working on Maximum Action anymore. Rest in peace. And Johnny had some free time. One of the things he's doing is a new game with DreadX. I'll let you talk about that in a second. But another thing, he comes to me and like, well, now that we've got some time for you, we can put you on other projects. And he's like, well, I've been thinking about making a full version of Kyle is Famous. Would you be interested in that? And I'm like, yes, that sounds amazing. Yeah, it's gonna have Twitch integration so people can vote on the cards and like a bajillion endings and all the DLC included and fun little unlocks. Oh shit, David's back.
Even with the DLC of the original, the endings are still like doubled. In the new version, there's a lot more content, and not only that, like all of the content has gotten a big polish pass with adding a lot of like effects and sounds and redoing the UI and everything. So it's and then the big thing that I think I always like gloss over this in my head, but there's a script editor. You can go in and write your own stories.
Oh, that's
now.
right. Yeah. I've just
and
realized
that's
if I
got
go like
Steamworks
this,
and
it looks
everything.
like there's a cacodemon coming out of my shirt. I get distracted easily. But yeah,
Do you
Kyle,
think Dave might have adult ADD?
No, I had an ADD as a child. I've had it for my whole life.
Right,
Next
but
episode
you're,
in June,
you're not a
we'll
child
find
now, so
out.
therefore it's adult ADD.
It's
You
just
had
ADD.
child
If it never-
ADD.
Soon
if
it'll
it
be-
never went away. So Kyle is Completely Famous, coming from New Blood and Johnny Szymanski in 2021. But Johnny, you also made some DreadX games. Shout out to our friends at DreadXP, Ted and Star,
Yes.
Hell yeah.
who like started a thing this year about making like collections of indie games, indie
Yeah.
horror games. And the stars of the show were obviously the Szymanskis as well as our boy Airdorf. So what were your games that you made for DreadXP while you were busy not releasing a concept album like your brother, who is far more
Well, for the collections, I only did one, which was Charlotte's Exile,
which was great.
Yeah,
Charlotte's Exile
was
was so good. I got spooked by Nier Lethatep. It was very scary.
Yeah, the little eye guy.
Yeah.
I was really happy with how it turned out. It's kind of one of those, when you do a game in like 2 weeks, which is kind of, if you don't know, that's what the DreadX collections are about. They, a bunch of developers do a game in 2 weeks and then they bundle them together. But when you do that, you have a concept in mind, but you just don't know if you're going to be able to really see it fully fleshed out into completion, like that holistic product at the end. But I feel like, what I wanted to do with the game, I was able to do. So that was really fun. It was a nice way to kind of stretch out some other development aspects that I haven't really done in a long time, like world-based puzzle design and doing a little bit of voice acting, although I'm by no means a good voice actor. But just, some stuff that you don't get to do. So it was just super fun to work on that. But then that led into a much cooler opportunity that I can talk about just a little bit. Which is I'm now working with DreadXP on a much bigger game that's not related to that in any way, but is more along the lines of like crossover between Myst puzzle design and Resident Evil 1 navigation and survival horror elements. And there is a lot of really cool stuff about that. I would suggest just kind of poking around on DreadXP Twitter or on my Twitter if you want to know more about that, because we haven't really officially announced what that is all about. We've just got a teaser out there. But if you like Resident Evil or you like Myst, I think it's going to be right up your alley for that.
I like both of those things.
Yeah! Well, so do I, Dave. That's why I'm working on it.
Yay. So yeah, that happened. You got married.
I did.
Anything else? Is that about it? Did that cover it?
I moved 3 times, but that was just kind of because I got married. So I don't know if that counts.
Okay. Kelsey.
What's up?
What did you do this year besides being our very, very awesome host for Realms Deep, which we'll talk about in a minute? You moved as well, didn't you?
I did.
Because the last time I saw you, we were both living in LA. And that was like a million years ago.
Right? Feels like it. Yeah, I actually, last year I was previously married, for those of you that don't know. I got separated back in October, and I wasn't able to move out of LA until April. So yes, I'm going through a divorce, but I'm finally out of LA, which was something that was bringing me down for a long time. Just like all the jobs I've had there, like not all of them, but most of them were just, not great. And hopping between game job, nothing ever really working out. And then the pandemic was the reason why I got laid off of my last job. And it was like the perfect window to get out of LA, because without a job, I wasn't going to be able to stay there anyway, because it's ungodly expensive. And, I was getting a divorce. So I was like, yeah, I need to get the fuck out of here. So I ended up moving to Spokane, Washington. And it's a lot different than the cities I'm used to. I'm originally from Las Vegas, and then I lived in LA for the last 5 years, and then now I'm here. So it's just, so
hipsters.
Yeah, it's like so podunk kind of compared to what I'm used to. So it's really nice though, because I've always wanted to live in Washington, but
people from Spokane are gonna come after you now for calling it podunk.
Fight me, bro. You guys are always mean to me anyway, so
The Pacific Northwest is gorgeous.
It is,
I love
though.
It up there.
Like it's very peaceful here, very beautiful, and I've always wanted to live here. So I finally made it up here, and I'm really happy. It's not expensive. It's comfortable. Like I finally get fucking snow, which is awesome. It has snowed like the past 2 days.
Does Yoshi have fun in the snow? How's Yoshi doing, by the way? So we both had dogs with health problems this year. How is Yoshi doing?
He's actually doing better now that he's off medication, which is weird. We don't really know what's wrong with him yet. Like he had some x-rays done, like full body x-rays, and they sent him off to a radiologist, and the radiologist was like, well, we can't really tell what it is until we get an MRI, but it kind of might be disc disease in his spine. So that's all we know so far, but we don't know 100%. So he has an MRI scheduled for February 1st. So we're just kind of writing things out until February 1st, because they are booked out until then, and there's no real way I can expedite it unless somebody cancels. So we're just kind of taking it one day at a time, but he does seem to be in better spirits, and he has been running around in the snow, like wanting to play, even though he's not supposed to. But you know, it's making me feel better about the situation because I can't really speed up time. We kind of just have to deal with things as they come.
Yeah, Bear had the similar thing. So as some of you know, my dog Bear, who lives with my ex in San Diego. If you follow me on Twitter, you don't know who Bear is, you don't follow me. And he got diagnosed with he had a brain tumor, and we had it. We got radiation for it, and that went away. And then like a month ago, he gets stage 4 lung cancer. So now he's going through chemo, this poor beagle, and it's like I feel really bad because like even if we wanted to put him down, I can't go back to the States. I haven't been back to the States all year. Our borders are closed. I live in New Zealand, God bless, and I can't go see my poor boo boo. So that's happening. I think Roxy might have had another hip replacement this year. Yeah, just dogs be having health problems in 2020.
It's a bad year for that. Like I've known other people who are having problems with their pets too, and it's just 2020 affecting everything, I guess.
Yeah, dogs are all sad. Myself, nothing happened to me. I grew a beard. I gained like 10 pounds. I got another dog. I got what are you doing over there? I got another dog. His name's Saul. He's right here. Oh, he's a good boy. Oh, he's hungry. That's why he's freaking out. It's like an hour past when I usually feed him. I'm sorry. I'm doing the podcast.
So the farts were just retaliation then.
Yeah, I've been farting on him now. No.
Just drop your rotisserie chicken on the floor and like let him go crazy.
No, oh my God, he will. No, I'm not doing that. But that's about all that I did, other than all the New Blood stuff, all the Rocket Works stuff. I mean, so I live in New Zealand, and it's been like we haven't had COVID since like May, so we've been back to normal for like 8 months. We had like a small little baby outbreak, and we locked down again for like a week, and then we got rid of it, and now we've been back to normal again. Whatever. It is what it is.
Must be nice.
Yeah, it must be nice. So that's kind of what I guess what happened to all of us in the last few months. What else happened in New Blood? We got to Gloomwood, E3, and then at some point I get to do my famous Fred impression. I guess at around May, June, July, I get a call from Frederick from 3D Realms. He goes, Dave, y'all, I got this great idea. We could do a show for boomer shooters. It's gonna be all them. We call it Realms Deep. It's gonna be us and you in the night dive and we're gonna do a show. Do you want to be in? Because that's that's what Fred sounds like, and I'm like, dude, that's the best idea you've had in like 7 years, because since like we do big at we go big at like PAX and stuff like that, but there's no trade shows this year, and for games like ours. That we don't get a lot of exposure. So Fred's like, fuck it, we'll do our own E3 for retro shooters, because retro shooters are like their own subgenre now. They're blowing up. There's a million of them. And I was like, that's a great idea. I hit up Steve Kick from Night Dive, and I'm like, yo, you guys should be in on this. And I hit up Mike J from Running with Scissors, and I was like, yo, you guys should reveal the new Postal FPS at that, and he's like, yes, that's a great idea. And I'm like, I know, I have good ones sometimes. And then I was like, we should also get like all the indie boomer shooters that like we're not publishing, because I don't know if you know this, between New Blood, 3D Realms, and Night Dive, we cannot publish all the retro shooters, and we don't want to. There's too goddamn many. But there's a ton of really good indie ones, and I'm like, we should spotlight like all of these. And next thing you know, Realms Deep is like a thing. We've got like 40 games involved. And well, Christian can talk to this, like, at New Blood, we do everything like super last minute. So we decide to like, okay, fuck it. We're going to announce a medieval DLC, Dusk on Switch release date delayed. What else? Ultra Kill launch, Unfortunate Spacemen DLC. What else did we have at Realms Deep? Fallen Aces. We're gonna announce a new game, Fallen Aces, and we're gonna make trailers for all of these in like a week. We had three video editors working like round the clock, including Christian here, for like a week. We made 20 videos for Realms Deep, including, that's when Kelsey got involved, because I was like, we need like a host. We have so much stuff. We need like a New Blood host to like, we need like someone to introduce all these things. That's when I reached out to Kels, and I was like, hey, do you want to be like our hostess with the mostest for Realms Deep? And she was like, yeah, fuck yeah, sure. And you came through super well on that.
Thank you. I actually was super self-conscious of that, so thank you.
Oh yeah. No,
you did a great job.
Yeah, it went super well, and Realms Deep like went off without a fucking hitch, which was crazy because like every other E3 show like kind of sucks. I'm sorry. Like every other like digital showcase was just like ads, and like fucking like boring like developer talks and stuff. And Realms Deep was actually kind of like all killer, no filler. But like a ton of cool games came out of there. Like what was it, like Fraught? We're all super keen on
Yep.
Fraught. Perilous Warp, the new postal shooter from the Hyper Strange guys. Doom 3 shotgun. That was at Realms Deep. I made a special appearance. It was just like the Doom 3 shotgun is here. But yeah, but while we were there at Realms Deep, Ultra Kill, we launched Ultra Kill. And Ultra Kill is now the best-selling, highest-rated New Blood game and FPS on Steam of like all time. It's crazy. Hakuda wanted to be here, but he also said he didn't give a shit because he's just really savage. He's really
I can
mean.
imagine him saying that.
He's
yeah.
just so mean. He's so mean to everybody. So we launched Ultra Kill, and that was awesome. And yeah, Realms Deep, it happened, and we're gonna do a Realms Deep 2021. Were there any other games that came out of Realms Deep that like we forgot about? Fallen Aces. So that happened in like a week because we had some extra time because of Maximum Action. We're like, well, we've got kind of room. We've been talking to Trey for a while because he also lives in Western PA, and he'd been doing illustrations for Gloomwood, and we're like, well, we could bring Trey in to be our illustrator, and also we kind of all want to, we like Fallen Aces, then we got a demo. We're like, yep, this is good. I guess we're working on another shooter.
Yeah.
So like
Well, kind of a shooter. It's a mix of things.
It's a mix shooter, sim, crime noir, investigative game.
Beat 'em up thing.
Beat 'em up, yeah. It's Action Doom 3. But we were like, shit, fuck it, let's bring it in, and that's been really cool because just having Trey as an illustrator, and then also Fallen Aces is super dope. But that
His
happened.
illustration work has been amazing.
Yeah, but that happened in like a week. That was like, fuck it, we'll do it, and we like recut the trailer. If you watch the Fallen Aces reveal trailer, it's like got some weird cuts and janky shit going on because we literally like took stuff out and like put some New Blood shit in and cut and added, and it's whatever. Fallen Aces coming soon, demo. So we're gonna try to get a demo out for the next Steam event, which is like February or something like that. We announced a Medieval, the Black Labyrinth. Full prequel DLC to a Medieval. We're going to be showing some more of that soon while we're trying to work on a Medieval RTX, which keeps having like insane issues. We keep having crash issues. We've been trying to update a Medieval RTX with DLSS 2.0 for almost a full year.
Is it in your
I
Facebook
feel-
memory recently?
Yeah, it was
about
in my
that?
Facebook summary, like a Medieval RTX, and I was like,
oh my gosh.
it's been a whole year we've been dealing with issues. We've been going back and forth with Unreal and NVIDIA for an entire year, and every time we think we're close, like a new crash bug comes up.
I
but
feel
we're
awful for Leon after all of this.
It's
just
crazy. Like,
weekly.
and
Yeah.
and the problem thing is it's so cool. It looks really cool. It runs really well because of DLSS 2.0. But like we can't get past these crash bugs. And now we're like so close, but NVIDIA's on vacation because it's the holidays, and like we can't get anybody to work on it. So that's happening. But that'll get done. But then the Black Labyrinth full prequel DLC. We don't know if it'll be standalone or not, but it'll probably be like $9.99. It'll be like 2-3 episodes worth of content, new enemies, new weapons. We're gonna show more of that pretty soon. Spacemen, we keep updating Spacemen. Spacemen's had a moment. We put Lord Mandalore in Spacemen. It's been really fun, like watching Spacemen kind of pop off for Zag after working on it by himself for like almost 5 years in early access. And it finally like blowing up and having thousands of players and making tons of money.
Yeah, it's really nice to
like,
see.
Who knew that making it free would mean it would make more money?
Yeah.
But here's the thing,
I
though,
mean-
like, since you guys made it free, like, I was expecting the community to just be terrible, just like go to shit.
Yeah.
But every time I play Unfortunate Spaceman, it's very pleasant. Like, I actually befriend people that I play with,
Yeah.
and we add each other on Steam.
Oh,
It's
neat.
like unheard of, but it's really fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah. What else happened? Oh, Dusk on Switch totally came out this year. Thank you for everybody who bought it. The highest number one on Switch. Amazing. I can't believe that
I
happened.
seriously thought you were
No.
serious for a second until I just remembered that it got delayed. So I was just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, we could have got it if we like. I had a tweet about this the other day. I'm like, if we fucking killed ourselves, Saul, get away. Stop that. Stop. Being bad. Sit. You're being so bad today. we could have got it done, but like we would have had to lock it at 30 FPS. Bleh. And there were still some levels where it would like dip super hard. It's mostly we're trying to hit like a solid 60 content wise. It's done, but like we were gonna do Halloween, and then we realized we weren't gonna do Halloween, and then we were gonna do December 10th, which is the anniversary of Dusk, right? And then some motherfuckers from Poland were like, actually, we're delaying the biggest game of the decade, and it's coming out on December 10th now. Thanks, Cyberpunk. You're the best. So at that point we just said fuck it, we're doing it next year. So yeah, Dusk on Switch. We're still working with some crazy performance bugs because David is the greatest programmer of all time.
Well, that's the weird part. Is I thought it's like, well, it's probably has to do with my crappy code, but it's like it's something really mysterious that we can't like. It seems to have nothing to do with like my code or like weird. I don't know. It's something
Sure,
weird.
buddy.
We still haven't. Probably will end up tracking it down. It's like, oh no, it did have to do with the code.
Yeah, we've got Zombie and Scott working on it. It's just we'll get there, but like it's annoying. But the game runs great. It's got gyro aiming. It's really cool. It plays really great. So we're excited to finally get that out with the limited run boxed copy. So we decided
We actually
like,
made some level adjustments for some things to make it like play optimally on Switch too.
Yeah, we
It's
got
not
rid
just
of
a straight port.
we like opened up some things, like some of the sections that just kind of sucked, like some of the climbing sections. We just gutted them and added bounce pads instead, because it's they're so not fun on like a small screen. So you'll see some small adjustments. Some hallways are wider and shit like that. Nothing crazy.
And before Dusk on Switch becomes the definitive edition of the levels.
Yeah, the definitive edition. People be like, "Why did you censor the game? You censored my game. I wanted
You
to
censored the climbing power
You
up.
censored the climbing power up. Free the jump
Thank you for
pads.
gyro, by the way, because shooters on Switch suck by default. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
It plays pretty well. Just turn the auto aim all the way up. It's fine. So yeah, what else? So Realms Deep, we did all that, and that it went really well, and that gets us to like September. October is a thing. What did we do in October? Nothing. Did we do? We put out a new Faith trailer, Chapter 3 teaser, which featured John singing The Police, which was really cool. I really like that trailer. Airdorf, please finish Chapter 3. It's been forever. We released a bunch of merch.
Had a baby too.
Oh, he had a baby too. Everybody's having babies.
Wait, was
Everybody
that this year?
I think it was. They had. That must have been this year. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was.
Everybody
It
in
was
New
an old
Blood
year.
just having lots of sex, or at least once. One sex. David has had
Well, we've
sex
all-
confirmed 2 times.
At least twice. Yeah.
Aaron has had
we've
sex
all
once.
played Dusk, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why.
Yeah, no, you have to 100% Dusk, and then you get guaranteed sex. Johnny,
Oh, well,
we
I
can
haven't 100% of Dusk.
whose babies are those then, David?
I have some questions for Rachel when she wakes up.
Saul's being very
Awkward
bad.
silence.
Whatchamacallit? And then Johnny, we can neither confirm or deny that you've had sex.
Yeah,
No.
it's just
No.
a mystery.
You have a single fact to back that up.
Hey.
I told him that now that he's married, he gets to learn about sex too.
Sex 2.
Sequel.
The sequel.
Yeah, so I guess that's what we did in 2020. So we released some games. We made up our own show with 3D Realms. That was pretty cool. FPS Carol left Twitter. FPS Carol joined Twitter. Welcome back. We
Carol.
love you, Mom. Yeah, she the best.
Yeah.
Hopefully she's not a catfish.
No, she did a face reveal recently. She's not a catfish.
What?
She did.
What?
You guys missed it?
Oh,
You gotta
let's
scroll
go.
back on the
Yes, I missed that.
timeline.
Link that.
Theme of the
No,
next
link it. Find
podcast.
it. Link it. I
Find
didn't
it
see
and link it.
The guys,
Okay,
we
I'm
have
on
to
it.
finish the podcast. This is stop thirsting.
after-
Stop thirsting over me, Mom.
I'm not thirsting. I'm just like I am fascinated to know that she's an actual human being and not like an AI
Not like Christian, who's a very
not
advanced
like Christian.
AI.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, I think this is what people want to know. What are our favorite games? Game of the year. Let's go. Doom Eternal. All right. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Yes, that's the
Show
right
is
answer.
over. I think that one's pretty obvious. We did a Doom podcast. We were actually going to do another Doom podcast, so you guys know. So our second podcast was actually going to be Doom. We are waiting to get Andrew and David on, and they are so busy making music for Ancient Gods fucking Part 2 that they do not have time to get on. Andrew, who is our own friend and composer, does not have time to be on the New Blood podcast. Motherfucker. So we are going to do another Doom podcast because we do want to talk about Ancient Gods. We do want to talk about new mechanics, stuff they're doing, all of Hugo's crazy design decisions. We definitely are going to do another Doom podcast, and it's going to be all about the Doom 3 shotgun.
Yep.
But let's talk about some of
talking about the Doom 3 shotgun.
yeah. Let's talk about some of our favorite games. I'll start. Yakuza 7, Like a Dragon, game of the year if it wasn't for Doom Eternal. I love.
Oh yeah.
You gotta play the whole
Maybe
thing.
one of the memes of the
Oh
year
my
too,
God.
honestly.
And also, yeah, so me and Aaron are gonna do a Yakuza podcast all about Yakuza 7. We'll do like a mini podcast because we just want to talk about it so bad.
I fell in love with that game this year too, honestly.
I've got 70
Game
hours
Pass.
in that game and I beat it. I'm probably gonna 100% it. I don't do that to anything. I barely play games for like more than like 10 minutes before I'm like, I get bored. So that's how good that is. And then the better news is that all the Yakuza games remastered are coming to Game Pass next year. Game Pass, which is the greatest deal in all of gaming. Phil Spencer, give us a Game Pass deal. It was just, yeah, Yakuza is absolutely the shit. Empire of Sin also came out. Some other games that came out that kind of like we almost forgot about. Wasteland 3, that was a big one for me because, you know, I love my isometric RPGs. And one that I think we had definitely a lot of discussion about in New Blood, Serious Sam 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Serious Sam 4 came out. David, is that one for you? You loved Sam 4.
Yeah, I figured I'd talk about that whenever you get to me.
I've just got to you.
Which-
My
okay,
game.
yeah,
Let's each do a game that's not Doom Eternal. So
Okay.
mine's Yakuza, Like a Dragon. Go play it. David, what's yours? Is it gonna be Serious Sam 4?
Oh gosh, there's so much to talk about. Yeah, probably Serious Sam 4, I guess. Because that game came out and it had a bit of a rough release, and a bunch of people didn't like it for reasons I still don't understand. Because I think that game's great.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's a fun Serious Sam game. I mean, like,
God,
some of the complaints were really weird, where people are like they're like complaining about things, or it's like that's how Serious Sam has always been
I
for
think,
like
yeah,
20
I think
years.
people were like, well, I think people were like both like shocked and amazed, and like that it's like, oh, they just made another Serious Sam. People were like, how dare you make the thing that everybody was expecting
How
you to
dare
make.
Yeah, I guess there were like complaints about like there's not enough of the Legion system, which is like, yeah, that would have sucked if they did that. Like, that wouldn't have been fun. I don't know. I thought that game was super fun. I beat it. I think it's better than Sam 3 by a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely it picks up. It takes a while. Once you're like dual wielding the coach guns, and can we just get a shout out for the coach gun in Sam 4 because it's fucking.
It's real fun.
It is. That is a really good double barrel shotgun. It might be my favorite of the year, if not one of my favorites of all time. And then you could dual wield
really
them,
fun.
and that's new thing in Sam. You've got power ups and shit. So like, I didn't get through it. But I definitely it takes I think it doesn't. I don't think it leaves a good first impression. But Sam games never do. They take a while to get going. I like 3 more than most people. I like 3 a bunch.
I do too, actually. I like 3 a lot more than most people.
Yeah. I think there was some stuff missing. It still felt like kind of weirdly like undercooked, considering how long they should have been working on it. You know, I was like, "Where's all the fun skins and stuff?"
I mean, it was
like
a
that?
bit uneven. Honestly, 3 was a bit uneven too, though. So I was really happy with it. I had fun. I think it's not perfect, but it was fun.
It's
for what it
Serious
was.
Sam. What do you expect? It's Croatia jank.
Yeah, it's Croatia. I also want to give a mini shout out to Perilous Warp because I love that
Chasm
game.
the Rift. It is a spiritual successor to Chasm the Rift.
Literally
Perilous
just
Warp.
HD Chasm, basically.
It
which
is
why I love
on.
it.
It is on Steam right now. Perilous Warp. It is a thing
Yeah.
that came out. Kelsey, what about you? A game that is not Doom Eternal.
I have
that you
3
love this year.
that I really loved that stood out to me this year. Proteus.
Definitely Proteus. Shout out to those guys, Mike and Jason.
Proteus was good.
Carry On was really great to me. I love the whole concept of that game. It was just, it needed to be done.
Very cool. Reverse horror, yes. Everybody loves a good reverse horror. Play as the monster from The Thing.
Basically,
I would like if-
parasitism, all of that.
Idea right here. Carry On. First person.
Ooh, in VR maybe.
We're giving these away for free now. Come
VR.
on.
And then my third
giving
one
these ideas
was
over.
probably Ghost of Tsushima. That's a great game.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, Ghost
yeah.
was so good. Totally deserved our best art
Yes.
direction at the Game Awards. We're not going to talk about the Game Awards because they snubbed our boy. They snubbed our boy. Jeff
In every way.
Jeff Keighley, how could you? Like I thought it was a shoo-in for best
That's
action
what I'm
game. I mean,
saying.
Hades deserves everything, but like man, like I thought Doom Eternal
There's
was
like
best
hardly
action
any
game for
moment in Doom Eternal where there's no action. So that's why I was
Yeah.
like,
sure.
it should have been a shoe-in.
Yeah, I didn't think it would get Game of the Year or
Yeah.
anything, but I definitely thought it was like, oh, it'll get action game for sure. But Last of Us 2 is just, it got everything. It got best acting, best directing, best love story, most woke, least
Most
woke. It
woke.
won all the awards.
Best golf minigame.
Cut. But yeah, Ghost was awesome, man. So I only played like 40% of Ghost. I really want to go back to it. I fell off it, which sucks because it's so hard to go back to those games, especially a game with combat that's that intricate. Like if I going back to it after 6 months, I'm gonna be like, I don't remember how to do the samurai
Start getting your ass
stuff.
kicked.
Help me! How do I block?
Well, it has
Yeah.
co-op now, so
Um,
if that incentivizes you,
Yeah.
then
I want to play that. Ghost. Oh yeah, so that game was awesome. That is like the most samurai thing ever. Very
Totally.
good choice. Definitely deserved best art direction. Cool. Johnny, did you play any games this year besides the
I
Game
played-
of Life?
The Game of Life was the game that got played the longest by
It
far.
played that game. The game played you, buddy. Okay,
The
continue.
game, or is playing. No, I did actually manage to play a couple of games, which is good for me. That's kind of a step up from last year. I earlier in the year I played Resident Evil 2, the remake for the first time, but it kind of doesn't
Wait,
count because it
that
didn't come out this year.
That was
No,
last
it
year.
didn't.
That was 2 years
Yeah.
ago.
I think the only game that kind of falls into to this year is probably just Hades, which is obviously excellent, but everybody's already said everything there is to say about it.
Yeah,
That's
they
true.
really.
But it's
And
a
if
great
you
game.
look at
I
if
just
you look at
watched
their
you play some of that today. Actually, that's a
Yeah.
really cool looking game that really
It's-
isn't for
yeah.
me, but looks very good.
Yeah,
it's great.
Supergiant doesn't miss. They've made 4 games and they're all incredible.
Oh wait, is it 4 now?
Yeah, so they made. So
Yeah.
everybody forgets.
Bastion?
Well, Pyre didn't do as well as the others. So they did Bastion,
Okay.
then they did Transistor, then they did Pyre, and then
Okay,
now
that's
Hades.
the one I was forgetting.
Yeah, so no,
Yeah.
Pyre was not as popular as the others. Still reviewed very. I think it had like a deck battling thing in there. It was a bit of a card game
Oh,
as well
really?
as their
Oh.
normal
I didn't know
isometrics
that.
thing. I loved Bastion. I mean, Bastion like was one of those Xbox 360 indie games that just exploded,
Yep.
right? I
Yeah.
played a little bit of Transistor. I didn't play Pyre, and then Hades is apparently amazing. But I am so done with like roguelike Diablo style dungeony things. Like I know.
It's better than the normal ones. I
I
would
Yeah,
still
oh,
give
no,
it a
I
shot.
bet.
Yeah.
And everybody says
Yeah.
the characters are so great, and I'm just like, when I see like roguelike dungeon crawler, I'm like,
Yeah.
The thing is, everybody talks about, it's really cool how the narrative continues over the permadeath and stuff, which is true. And it's like, oh, well, of course. But once you experience that, I don't think that any roguelite's going to be able to do narrative again. It's just, it feels right. It feels like, yeah, this is how the narrative is supposed to go. And everybody else is just going to be out of the door.
It was
at this
really
point.
cool to see. I was really surprised at how because I watched Evan and Johnny play it today for a
Yeah.
little bit, and I was really surprised just how how natural a fit it was. It was
Yeah.
really neat. I was like, I have basically no interest in that style of game, but I was almost like, maybe I should pick this up. This looks good. Until I saw the menus, and I'm like, nah. This not for me. but it's a really cool looking game. It seems like it does what it does like really well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think they had to like if anybody's like you have to evolve that genre if you want to stand out. It's kind of like Metroidvanias,
Yeah.
right? There's just
Definitely.
so many of them. In order to if you have to stay, you have to be like Hollow Knight or Dead Cells now to stand out because there's just like so fucking many of them.
Yeah.
Any other special shout outs? A couple of you guys played Teardown. Teardown was a big hit this year.
Don't forget Doom 64.
Doom 64.
yeah.
Doom 64
Really good
shotgun.
port of a really good game.
good port.
Yeah.
Feels great on a controller
Thanks.
for once.
Thanks, Kaiser. Thanks, Night Dive. We love you. Release
And Teardown.
Teardown. Yeah, still early
yeah.
access.
Teardown's interesting. I have not beaten it. I've played a few hours of it. It's a really neat So okay, we all knew it was basically going to be a tech demo.
Yeah, voxel destruction game. Yeah.
Which it is,
Yeah.
and it's a neat tech demo. But what was surprising is that the game that comes along with the tech demo actually not bad.
There's
I don't
a
think
game
it's
with the tech demo. That's
yeah, it's well, I kind of expected that it was going to be basically nothing except for just cool voxel tech and ray tracing, but the game part can be actually pretty fun. It's actually worth playing for that. Also, I haven't finished it, and it does seem like it probably gets a little bit repetitive. But the little bit I played of it, I was actually having fun with it, like not just as a play around with the voxel tech, as like a the actual game part, which for a game that's pretty much entirely based on the tech behind it is actually a pretty great achievement, I would say.
I think Teardown is like a very interesting little game specimen, because it's so rare that games like their mechanical design is driven by the tech nowadays. That was a lot.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
Because there's so
of more
much, there's so
frequent.
little to do with tech
Right.
now.
Yeah, it's like everything's been done. So it's really interesting to see, like, oh, hey, here's another example of that tech-driven design cropping up in 2020. And it kind of gives me the idea that maybe doing that hyper CPU focused voxel sort of physics-based stuff could have some other interesting concepts in that same sort of framework of being like, oh yeah, tech first, design after, could crop up from that, maybe off of Teardown's success. We'll see. I think it would be interesting if people decided to do that.
Yeah, Teardown definitely one to look out for. That Townscaper game came out. The one where you just kind of like blow towns, little plops
that thing,
up.
Yeah.
And that did like
Yeah.
crazy good. And this was like $5, and the guy like never updated it, and it made like millions of dollars. We are making way too long of games. We just need to make tech
Yeah.
demos. Half-Life Alyx, which we will discuss in depth.
Yeah.
Which we will discuss
Yeah.
in depth on the
Yeah.
next podcast, which we promise
There's
will be
a
the
lot to
Half-Life
discuss
podcast.
with-
Because me and
yeah.
David have played through all of Black Mesa and Half-Life 1 and Half-Life 2 now. And
Not
David's
Black Mesa. I've only played a few hours of Black Mesa.
well, you should do that. Actually, no, you should play it and then quit before Interloper, because that's just like 3 hours. Anyway, we'll talk about
I
all
need
that.
to finish Alex first. More
Yeah,
importantly.
you need to finish
Where you at
Alex.
with
I
your,
need to finish Alex.
Where you at with your gnome run too? You're doing a gnome run.
Yeah, I did a gnome run. I finished
You
my
finished
gnome
the
run
gnome
last
run?
night.
I don't know
Yeah,
if you
I
finished it or
shot
not.
the gnome into space. I'm
Perfect.
actually like really proud of that achievement. That's like a real like
It is pretty neat,
That's like a
yeah.
real gamer fucking thing to do. A Half-Life
Yeah.
2 Episode 2 gnome run. And it's
I've never done it. I should do it someday.
It's fine except for the car part, because the fucker doesn't
Yeah.
stay in the car, and
Oh.
Alex won't hold the gnome, bitch. It's like kid is like, bitch, hold this. So it's oh man, the part that okay, we'll talk all about it during the Half-Life
Yeah.
podcast, which is
There's
what
a
we're gonna
lot
do.
to talk. I
Oh, there's
just
a lot
played
to-
through all of the Half-Life 2 games, and you
Yeah.
just played through all the
all the
so we
Half-Life
have
2 games.
we are very fresh for talking about
Content
Half-Life.
fresh.
And you can
Yeah.
and you can go watch them on the VODs or on Twitch, and Christian's actually gonna start cutting those up and putting them on our YouTube
Yeah.
channel. We're gonna start like a New Blood Streams channel. We're really bad at doing all that stuff because we're lazy.
2021, right?
2021, that year we're gonna do everything, dude. I
New
remember
year,
saying
new
that about
blood.
2018 and 2019, Dusk on
Yeah.
Switch. We're gonna do all this stuff. 2020, Dusk on...
That is so sad.
We hate money. We hate money. It's
You're
like,
telling me.
yeah, right. No, you love money. You get too much. Terminator Resistance, the sleeper hit of the year. I
Oh
think.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
somebody,
the game everyone expected nothing of.
well,
that-
because
that
it's made by
did
the,
really
the
well.
devs who did the Rambo on rails shooter game, Reef.
Aren't they literally just a money laundering front?
I think.
Like, I love to imagine that they were a money laundering front, and then the game surprisingly did well, and they're like, oh, I guess we actually have to be a game studio now.
we don't have to launder money anymore.
Yeah, we don't have to. We can actually just make it as a game studio.
Yeah,
That's my
which is-
headcanon.
Yeah, Reef actually hit us up for something. They're like, "Hey, do you want to make this really weird idea with this really weird IP or boomer shooter?" And we were like, "Not really. You had me." I can't talk about it because I think it's friend DA, but
Yeah.
it was pretty funny.
Terminator Resistance is pretty neat, though.
Yeah, no, I really want to play it. I'm really surprised it's a good Terminator game. But it's still
It gets the vibes just perfect.
Yeah.
As a game, it's a bit wonky sometimes, but it's like just the whole like Terminator aesthetic is so perfectly captured.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Another one for me is a Post Void came out. Post Void's like one of
That's
those
a
games.
really
Like, I
good
wish
one.
Void's a good one.
that's like the most New Blood game that New Blood didn't work on,
Yeah.
for sure. Oh, and special shout out to the game I streamed this year, Hylix 2. Mason Lindroth is an absolute auteur. That game is so fucking weird. The JRPG to end all JRPGs. I really hope he makes a Hylix 3. He has to. Right? That game is just so fucking weird. What else before we get into games we're looking forward to? Me and David both installed Oblivion this year because that happens.
Yeah. You reinstalled and I installed it for the first time.
It's like
It's fun.
it's the best Elder Scrolls game, which we can argue about for days, but I think it's the best Elder Scrolls game. Some people agree
That's
with me.
another podcast, boys.
That's another podcast. We'll get Todd Howard on for that one. I'll just
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
call him. But it's like Deus Ex, right? Every time someone mentions Oblivion, you're like, oh fuck. Time to install. And then you mod it for 4 hours and you play for like 30 minutes and you're like, then you uninstall and you don't play it for another year. That's what PC gaming's all about.
That's what Bethesda games are all about.
You said it, not me, Todd. I still love you, bro.
I didn't say
okay.
it was a bad thing. It's just that's the experience of
Yeah.
replaying Bethesda games is installing installing
charm.
mods for like 4 hours, and then playing for 10 minutes and being like, yeah.
Yeah, basically. They're like, oh, I made New Vegas look slightly less shit. So good. Okay, and then so that's 2020. That's 2020. Those are our favorite games besides Doom Eternal, and some indie stuff. How about what we're looking forward to for 2021? I will go for David and say Hrot.
Yep,
Count me
I'm looking
into.
forward to Hrot.
Yeah, Hrot's really good.
I have gotten to see more of Hrot, and
Yeah,
it is great.
We've been playing it. It's really good. I really want to be able to help that dude out and make sure the game comes out and does really well because it deserves it.
I'm really looking forward to Shadows of Doubt, but I have no idea when that's releasing. It might be next year or it may be never. I don't know.
What am I looking forward to? Oh, Cyberpunk 2077 when it's done. Really looking forward to that one. What am I
Early
actually?
access wasn't bad, but
Yeah, it was pretty
full
good.
release should be pretty good. I think.
Hitman 3. Ooh,
Yes.
mamma mia.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I played a little bit of Hitman 1, and then they released 2, and they put all the missions from 1 and 2. So I'm like, oh, okay. So then I played through it again and got a little bit further in 2, and now they're doing 3 where they're going to redo it again. I'm like, this time I'll finally get through it. I won't.
They're just making it into this massive like
There's so much.
gelatinous mass
There's
of
so
Hitman
much
It's
content
great.
in those games. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
Just one
A
map.
single level in that game has the content of like most other games.
I was just,
Yeah.
I was just,
It really
I
does,
was just
yeah.
going through the menus and stuff, and I'm like, how is there so much fucking content?
That's not even
I mean,
countering user-made stuff too.
it's perfect. Just the fact that it's everything anybody's ever wanted from those games that IO to do, and now IO's making a James Bond game, which I could not.
Super
I cannot
cool.
think of a better fucking match. That's
Totally.
that's like peanut butter
Yeah.
and chocolate. That's like dipping your
Yeah.
French fries in a milkshake. That's like I was gonna say something gross, so I'm not gonna do it. Because Johnny's here and he's a good Christian boy.
It's a real good match anyway.
Johnny, so David's was Hrot, mine's was Hitman. What's yours, Johnny? What's your most anticipated thing? Or
Well, I'm a
unanticipated
Resident
thing?
Evil fanboy, so although
Village?
I was not, yeah, it's Village. I wasn't like a huge fan of Resident Evil 7, but every Resident Evil really, I was excited for Resident Evil 6. I still say Resident Evil 6 was better than 5.
I don't know anything about
Resident
6
Evil
other than the
Village.
cover art looks like a lady blowing a giraffe. Have you
Wait,
not
what?
seen this?
Interesting takeaway from
I
Resident
didn't
Evil
know.
Oh,
6.
hang
I
on a
did see that.
second. Hang on. You guys know this, right?
No, what?
I've
Oh my-
never heard of this in my
Wait,
life.
what? Okay. Okay,
Oh,
look
I'm
at the
looking at
look
this.
at the cover art for Resident Evil 6. Oh, I can't
I
believe
have
this
to
is
Google
happening
it
live.
now.
And what do you see?
Oh, the
Oh
logo.
no! What is
Holy
she
crap!
doing?
Okay, I see it now that there are like diagrams on Google that.
Look at the chat.
Oh,
Oh
isn't it?
no!
Oh God.
No! What is
What
she
the-
doing?
You gotta. that's a bit of a stretch, but I can see it.
I've never once you know about it, you could never unsee
Yeah,
it.
it's like the
just
James. It's like the
unfortunate.
GoldenEye.
Oh my god.
Oh, the GoldenEye mouth thing. Yeah.
The mouth thing.
Yeah. So Resident Evil draft.
I love how the giraffe is wearing pants.
Resident Evil giraffe.
Well, that's just unfortunate, Dave. I don't know what to do about that.
That ruined it.
For everyone listening, I am known for my hot takes, but what you don't know is that Johnny has just as many hot takes as I do about lots of other random things.
Yeah.
Like Resident Evil 6
like
being better than
Resident
Resident Evil 5.
Resident Evil 6 is better than Resident Evil 5, and I will take that to my grave.
Well, I think, Johnny, you would actually say 6 is better than 7, wouldn't you?
Okay, I would not say that. That is a very complicated question, David.
Okay, we'll save that for the Resident Evil podcast.
Yeah, when we're doing a Resident Evil podcast, I am in, and I'm talking in length about this.
There's a lot to talk about for a Resident Evil. That one will be without Dave.
Yeah, because I don't play
really
those
care,
games.
right?
You can do a podcast without me, and it'll be great because then other people will actually be able to talk. I try my best. Okay, and then Kelsey.
I got 3, I think. Actually,
always with 3. I'll ask for
I'm
one
the
thing.
most indecisive person
Classic.
in the fucking world. I'm sorry. Okay, so definitely Shadow Warrior 3. Definitely Postal Brain Damage, and definitely Viscera Fest. Or Hellscreen as a runner-up. I don't know. Okay.
This is just classic
Yeah,
shooter
well,
list.
I forgot
all
about
about
Shadow Warrior
shooters,
3.
so-
I forgot that that's coming out.
Oh yeah,
this is
Shadow
a-
Warrior 3.
a
Yeah, it looks
pantheon of
beautiful.
2021
If you
shooters.
haven't seen any gameplay from it, check it out.
Yeah, Shadow
I've
Warrior
only
3.
seen a little bit.
It looks like Doom Eternal
It
with
does,
a katana,
yeah.
which is works
you
for me,
saying?
baby. Cool. So those are our most anticipated dateds. We've got some questions. I'm gonna do lightning round with all the questions we got on Twitter.
Woo, woo, woo. Bam, bam, bam.
Okay. Are there any themes or gameplay styles you think are underrepresented in modern games? Anything you really miss?
Rail shooters and first-person point-and-click adventures.
Nice. Well done. I'm gonna say car combat.
That's a good one.
If New Blood
Fixed
didn't
camera survival horror.
fixed camera survival horror, yeah, what up, Puppet
Yes.
Combo? If New Blood didn't work out, what would you all have done? I'd be
Be a janitor.
I'd be selling cars.
Probably still be a Dollar General.
Yeah.
I'd
So,
still be
yeah,
here
I'd
on
be
the internet
sad.
playing sounds
Thank
on
you
a
for
Yeah,
phone.
buying
that-
our games.
Yeah.
Why do boomer shooters use hell so much as a main setting? Because it's cool. Will you give a
Because
chance?
Doom happened.
Yeah, because Doom. Yeah, will you
Yeah.
give the chance for another boomer shooter to be in a New Blood game roster? Please, no more retro shooters. We want to work in other genres. We're trying so hard.
Yeah, maybe later.
Yeah, it's just, oh my god, please. Dusk 2 is going to be a fucking point and click. Favorite
That'd be cute.
behind the scenes dev moment. I don't know. Johnny forgetting to tell David about his wedding.
That wasn't really a dev.
Yeah, development specific though.
So many things happen all the time.
I have a lot of
Yeah.
stories that there's just too many to talk about right now, so I'm just gonna
Yeah.
say I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, we don't have any. There's just the development in general.
There's no one moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dusk 2 is a dating sim, yes or no?
Yes.
sure. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Is New Blood card confirmed?
I have no idea.
Yeah. Thoughts on Shalebridge Cradle and Deadly Shadows Place in classic ImSim canon? Robbing the Cradle and Shalebridge Cradle is arguably the best stealth mission in all of video games. And Deadly Shadows is super slept on. While it is not as good as Thief 1 and 2, it is very, very, very good, especially in the context of in the confines of everything that has come since. I think.
I haven't played it yet, so.
What?
I haven't played it yet. I haven't
Oh,
played
that's right,
Thief 3
David.
yet.
David, so we the funny thing with us all working on Gloomwood is like there's all different games that we haven't played. David hasn't played Thief 3. I haven't beaten System Shock 2. We're just all over the place. But yeah, robbing the cradle
Well,
is so good.
no, saying you haven't beaten it makes it sound better. You have played like the tutorial. And
I
that's
played like
it.
an hour and a half. The tutorial's very long. It's not my
You
fault.
didn't even get to the engineering deck.
No, I didn't. I didn't get very
Really?
far.
You have
Dude,
not
I
played
played more
much.
than you.
I got
That's crazy.
busy with stuff. I'm gonna do it. Man, I'll do it. You know, the only way to get me to beat games now is for me to stream them. So if I stream System Shock 2,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah, there
beat
you
it.
go.
I
Well,
mean,
David's
that's why I'm
busy.
streaming
not?
Prey, because
Yeah.
I know it'll force me to.
That's why I'm gonna stream Metro, and we could do a whole podcast on Metro and Stalker, which we probably
Oh,
should.
gosh.
People would like that. So yeah, Shellbridge Cradle, good. Deadly Shadows, very underrated. What else we got? Do we ever see games that we'd be interested in publishing, even though we're no longer interested in simply publishing games? I think Krot and some other stuff. Like I mentioned Post Void. I think I see that game and I'm like, yeah, that's a New Blood game. We've been approached by some of these devs too, like the Krot guy, Golden Light. Some of these games would probably fit in really well, but like we just don't have the bandwidth, and like if we can't do enough for the game, we can't work on it from day one. It
Yeah,
just
then we're
doesn't really make
shortchanging it at that
it
point.
just doesn't
yeah.
really make sense.
Mhm.
What was that, Christian?
So then we would just be shortchanging a game we want to see.
Yeah,
flourish
it's just
at
like
that
we don't
point.
want to just. We're
Yeah.
not like fucking. We're not like some indie publisher that just wants to like call us when your
Slap our
games.
name on
Call us
everything.
call us when your
Yeah.
games. Call us when your game's 80% done. We'll put out some hot fire tweets, throw it up on Steam, and take 50%. Like that's not us, man. Like we're not that. We well now we do everything internally, but even when we were like bringing in other people's games, we really wanted to build it from the ground up. But there are games that we see when we're with which we were like, man, I wish that was like a fucking that would be sick if it was a New Blood game. Yeah. But yeah. Where can I throw more money at you and at us and our games? Gloomwood early access next year. Fallen Aces early access next year. New cosmetics for unfortunate spacemen. Kyle is completely famous. Give us money for Johnny's fucked up sense of humor.
Dusk on Switch.
Dusk on
Next year,
Switch.
please.
Let's not promise anything. Don't promise anything.
At some
Dust
point.
Collector's
more
Edition.
merch.
Lead than a promise.
Yeah, Dusk Big Box Edition. More posters,
limited
more
run shit.
T-shirts, more of that crap. And then Ultra Kill Act 2, Imperfect Hatred is going to be a thing. So like if you haven't bought Ultra Kill yet, what are you crazy? But that. Now that Dusk is on the Switch, Dusk Dude is a possible candidate for Smash. Come on, no. What's y'all's personal highlights of 2020? We did that. What's a genre we want to bring back, and what's a hidden gem game you want to see remastered? Genre we want to bring back? Car combat. We talk about it all the time.
Platforming.
Matt, what'd you say?
Mascot platforming.
That's the
Mascot
thing.
It's not
They made a
dating.
banjo.
No.
They
Well-
made a new Spyro. They made a new
Yeah, just
banjo
remasters.
They made a ukulele.
Well, ukulele was basically a reskin of Banjo Kazooie. I want more 3D platformer, like redone, reimagined with a cute little mascot. That's all I want.
What about like Snake Pass and A Hat in Time?
That's fair. Yeah, Hat in Time was really
What
good.
about the fox?
Those are the only
Oh,
two I think
Super
I
Lucky's
know
Tale.
about. Oh, and there's that like weird
Super
Yeah.
Pokken
Lucky's
one.
Tale, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. We just need
It's
more
not
of
the
those.
same though, because I mean, the zeitgeist isn't there. You know what I mean? You need to have like that.
Yeah.
You need to have the zeitgeist, or it doesn't feel right. You know?
I mean, I liked what they did with
Uh,
Lucky's Tale in VR, the first title, but everyone
Yeah.
hated that for some reason. I thought it was dope.
Yeah, I thought it was.
It'll find its groove.
It was
Just like Boomer
True.
Shooters did.
Yeah.
Soon enough. Mascot
Next
platforming, car
question.
combat.
Can I have a job? No. How does New Blood go about finding talent? Do they come to you? You're constantly searching for. They come like I don't know how all these people ended up here. I don't know where like everybody like first it was David and then it was Dylan and then Erdorf and then Johnny and now Evan. There's more Szymanskis. There's probably a Szymanski
You
sister.
forgot you completely like cut out Leon and Zag.
Yeah, no, we don't talk about that. Yeah, no, it was Zag and
Sorry.
Leon and Simon
Probably the only
and,
thing that's
and
really
Hakata
good.
and obviously the QA guys like Scott and Cam.
Yeah.
It was funny, like they were just like one day like, can we work here? Like, we've been hanging out. I was like, sure. And now there's like 30 people in New Blood.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll ever
The only
let
link
you?
really is, I was gonna say the only link really is just when we knew it worked when it started to work.
Yeah,
Like,
just
everybody just kind of suddenly was like, yeah, I'm working with this person.
yeah. Do you want to work with this friend and that friend? By the way, there's this guy Dylan who's been working with me on Dusk, and he's working on a game that's pretty
It
cool.
just kind of
Yeah, sure,
happened
whatever, yeah.
on its own, kind of.
Like Hatsu was like, "Hey, can I make the animations for Gloomwood?" Yeah, sure, why not? Fuck it. Yeah, people. Nubla just kind of. I don't. We don't do anything.
It happens. It happens to us. Not.
It's whatever. Do you think they'll ever let you back at GDQ? I've never actually been banned for GDQ. That's like a meme.
Which is surprising.
I think they'll be back. I mean, you can't get banned for just like fucking talking real fast.
You can get banned for
a lot of things at GDQ. It's like, you farted too loud. You're out. Punching in first-person shooter games is an underutilized mechanic. Oh, but just you fucking wait. Just you wait. I'm trying to wink at my camera, but I don't know where my camera is. Is the Doom 3 shotgun good or bad? Let's save that for another podcast. Is there any chance
we'll save that for our entire podcast about the Doom 3
shotgun?
Doom 3 shotgun, yes.
Is there any chance of New Blood working on a Rise of the Triad game, considering your previously involvement with the series? Would you even want to? Okay, so Terry asks me about that all the time, and he did, and he wanted us. He's like, hey, do you want to like fix Rot 2013 and work on that? Do you want to do a sequel? Do you want to do the ports and all that stuff? And with New Blood doing as well as it was, and this was a few years ago, I was basically like, we don't want to work on known IPs. Everything we're going to do is going to be original. Because as much as we love some of these known IPs, like, like say Chasm or Rot or Condemned, those games come with a lot of baggage. Mainly expectations and fans of those games. I mean, even
which is why if we were to work on a known IP, it would obviously be Daikatana.
Yes, because there is no expectations whatsoever.
You have anti-expectations.
Anti-expectations, yeah. But yeah, Terra and I was like, listen, I would love to, but no. And then so like I think they're doing the Rot Switch release and stuff like that now. I mean, there's a part of me that would love to go back with Leon and fix all the broken shit in Rot 2013, but I think that's just going to be our janky baby forever that got us all started with this. If it wasn't for
the
that
weird game that has like pretty much everyone and New
yeah,
Blood has a weird history
like
with.
if it wasn't for that game, there would be no New Blood, there would be no 3D Realms, there'd be no like who knows all the projects that people on that. There's people that worked on that game that work on Hitman now and fucking work on Platinum. It's crazy. Yeah. But so no, the answer is no. We are not going to work on Rise of the Triad or any known IPs unless it's Daikatana.
Dave, please, I can't even get through Rise of the Triad remake. That's broken.
Why?
No, I'm stuck.
It's
I'm
fine.
stuck.
The reload.
That makes it
fine.
worse.
Being stuck is very fair.
That's
yes.
fine.
Consult the game manual. You'll be fine.
That's fine.
Don't quick save. The quick saves are cursed.
Oh yeah, quick saves are really broken. We added we actually stole a bunch of code from Gears of War 3. Okay, I'm not going into Rise of the Triad remake. Okay.
That is an entire series of podcasts.
The game came out. We're here. Shush.
It's
okay.
still out, we believe. And it will continue to be out. That's all.
Will the console ports of Dusk have multiplayer? Fuck no.
No.
If we could go back in time and delete Duskworld, we probably would.
Oh.
It is not worth the effort.
We still consider it every month or so.
We're probably gonna try to. We might make Duskworld like a free-to-play standalone thing next year. But no.
Maybe that will make it all worth it finally.
Maybe. But
put skins in Duskworld if it makes spaceman money.
But do not indie multiplayer. Please just don't do it. It's like Hakena's got the right idea. He just says no multiplayer. We can all learn a lot from Hakena. Johnny asks, Dusk 2, lol. Johnny, you're on the podcast.
So you can answer that question, Johnny.
Depends if it's a visual novel.
Good answer.
Who came up with Cart Dog and why? David?
I came up with Cart Dog because I don't know. I came up with Cart Dog. I'm like, Cart Dog, that's funny.
Yeah,
that sense of humor in Kyle is famous that Johnny has. That's a familial thing.
No, Johnny's like, I found the Vorpal sword in time travel and I ate a refrigerator. Cart Dog is like a legless dog with his legs stapled to the side of the cart.
Dave, you did not play Kyle as Santa, did you?
There's some like real horrifying things in Kyla's Santa.
Yeah,
They're like elves bursting out of people's stomachs. And, like,
it's a Christmas miracle. Yeah, he's gifted with a Christmas miracle of hearing all of the children in the world, which causes him to scream. And so to help him, then another Christmas miracle is granted in which elves kind of boil out of his skin and burst around and start foraging around for food and stuff. So then you can collect them in a bag and release them upon the world, and it progresses from there.
What the
So the
fuck
answer to
is
how
wrong with
it
you
runs in the
people?
family.
I don't know.
It runs in the
it's just
family is the
this-
question. The answer to that question.
The
It's a
answer to that
Szymanski
question
thing.
is Szymanski family.
Should the Szymanskis be institutionalized? I don't know.
I'm asking that question next podcast.
Any plans for future Dust content at all? Yes, obviously
Maybe.
we're still working on the SDK and Steam Workshop and co-op and fucking what are we
Well, I
doing?
think
A
they're
new
probably
game?
asking specifically about like DLC.
Yeah, we're gonna
like,
do. We
yeah.
plan on doing a new game plus expansion thing. We've talked about it a bit. We're figuring it out.
2040.
Yeah.
In 2077. Well,
What's a direction that you'd like to expand New Blood into that might have been plausible yet, just a goal for the team? Well, first of all, I want to start a record label, which is something I think we're going to do. So there's a place because there's so many composers and musicians in New Blood and so many different circling artists putting out music. It'd be good to kind of help build everybody up in the same way we've built everybody up in their games. So I want to do that. New Blood Records coming in 2021. And also, what's a goal for the team? I think to work on like one game together.
Oh, that'd be cool.
to
Yeah.
release Dusk on Switch.
Yes, release Dusk on Switch, please.
And
David's like,
RTX for
please.
Medieval.
Were you disappointed when you first?
84 years.
It's been 84 years. Were you disappointed when you first played Doom 3 to find out it doesn't have a shotgun?
Next question.
If id Software approached you to work on a project similar to how Raven Software was involved with Quake 4, what game would you want to make for alongside id Software? Someone replied, Dangerous Dave. Yes, I'm going to reply and say obviously a Quake reboot.
Yeah, that's the correct answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Someone just replied, "Hey?" Question mark? Question mark? Question mark? Sad face. Hey, please
Slanty
respond.
face.
Slanty face. Well, he always does the slanty face. We've got a weird person in the community.
It happens.
Oh, and there's another one. Who hurt David to lead him creating Cart Dog? I just asked that.
What is it about Card Dog specifically?
Probably
it's-
the
that was
legs
weird and
stapled
messed
to
I think
side.
the fact that I didn't even notice the legs for like the longest time until I saw fan art and I'm like, oh, the legs are stapled to the side of the wheels.
Yeah.
That's so fucked up.
It's what makes it funny.
Yeah,
You guys are.
I don't know. I've always thought that it was hilarious. I never saw this as a horrific thing, and then the community outcry has been so unanimous. You know?
Well, it was like not all, but a lot of the Dusk enemies, the idea is it's supposed to be like, is this funny or is this disturbing? It's the same thing with the horrors. It was supposed to be like, is this like so ridiculous it's funny or is it just disturbing?
So the answer is always
that was sort of
yes.
like, yeah, that was sort of the balance I was trying to hit with a lot of the Dusk enemies.
Yeah. And final question, Dave. When will you read the JoJo manga? Never, you fucking weebs. I am not reading the manga. I watch the anime like a
Weebs, get out.
fucking like I'm like a true JoJo enjoyer. Anyway.
Oh boy, that's the hottest take yet.
What? That the anime is better than the manga? It is. I don't have time to read. That's why they make cartoons. I'm an adult.
Look, I don't know for certain, but I'm fairly sure there is a very vocal and very angry section of the internet that would just eat you alive if they found that comment.
Oh, for sure, 100%. I mean,
yeah.
And look forward to that next week when I'm linking this clip to them on the internet.
Look forward to next week when we bring all of them live on the podcast at once.
When we bring down the wrath of all weebs on Dave's head.
Have all of their voices overlapping as they scream at Dave.
Our special guest, all of weebs.
Special
How you
guest,
doing?
every weeb on the internet.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, so I think that does it for 2020 and the 2020 podcast. Thank you for to all the every week we get on here and we talk to you guys about what's going on. We've been so consistent. It's been an amazing journey. I can't believe we hit 1 million listeners this year.
We're glad to be part of your routine at this point, I'm sure.
Glad to be part of your...
Yeah. Oh, God.
It's literally the most dysfunctional podcast schedule imaginable.
We're the most dysfunctional company. People ask me, like,
Yes.
oh, where's the New Blood office? How does New Blood function as a company? We're like, it does. We
I
kind
hate it.
of...
I'll get, yeah.
What's best is when
Sometimes
it's
I'll get
used in a
questions
compliment.
like, explain
Like, how
how
do you do
New
this
Blood
so
works,
well?
and I'm like, no. Why refuse?
It's like the fact that we release games at all is a miracle. Everything is a miracle. 2020 is a miracle. Anyway, I think that does it for us. The next podcast is either going to be about Doom or Half-Life, depending on where it shakes out. I promise that we are going to try to do more of these in the new year. We have a lot of fun doing them. You guys say you have a lot of fun listening to them. So, yeah, we just want to say get fucked 2020, and we'll see you all in 2021. Say goodbye, guys.
Later.
Bye-bye, guys.
Goodbye.